Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing. For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do for it.
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV official, exclusive every weekday on Afia TV.
Time check is 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next girl store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts?
The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our selected stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities, making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Top of the morning to you. It's Wednesday, the 30th day of October 2024, and today, as always, we'll take a look at commodity reports and activities from our selected exchanges on the opening bell segment. Business news stories from around Africa and the rest of the world will come to you on Global Business. We'll also take a look at issues affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria on the Eastern Business Report. And then finally, we'll bring to you activities and conversations from around the market on the segment Afia. The Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll be looking at all the activities that are making the rounds right here in the world of business. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York exchange is yet to open, while in China opening bells went off at 2 a.m. local time. We'll be looking at, how the markets closed and all of those details. But first, we'll be taking a quick look at some business news stories making the rounds. We're starting out from the global economy, where it's reported that Boeing is to raise billions from share sale to boost its finances. The aeroplane manufacturer Boeing is seeking to raise some $19 billion through a share sale in the hope of boosting liquidity and avoid a credit rating downgrade by launching a major stock offering as its workers continue strike action that has lasted for more than a month. And still from the global economy, is reported that, French lawmakers have voted in favor of new tax on billionaires. French lawmakers have voted in favor of a new levy that would tax assets above the €1 billion threshold at 2%, as a majority of lawmakers supported the proposition from the far-left LFI party, despite warnings from the incumbent government. Details of the stories and more will come to you on Global Business. And moving away from that, let's move straight to the floors of official exchanges, and like they say, charity begins at home, so we start on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, where the NGX all-share index as of yesterday closed on a low again, falling by 0.66% to close at 98,058.06 points. We'll take a short break here. When we return, we'll be looking at how this all pans out eventually with reference to the NGX all-share index. Please stay. You're welcome back, and yes, indeed, you're still watching Opening Bell right here on the Afia Business Morning. And moving on, we're still taking a look at activities from the Nigerian Stock Exchange outside yesterday. You may be interested to know that a total of 399,324,907 shares valued at 8,925,719,153 naira 96 kobo were traded across 9,547 deals with equity capitalization of 59,432,190,496 naira 17 kobo. Apart from that, let's take a look at the biggest gainers and losers of the day. The biggest gainer of the day was NNFM, which rose by 10%. Other gainers were UACell, TIP, Livestock, and CWG. On the other hand, Cadbury Nigeria topped the losers list with a decline of 9.89%. Other losers were Academy, Royalex, Aradel, and Sovereign Insurance. We're going to a quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at activities from other selected exchanges and talking about the likes of the New York Exchange, London, Chinese Exchange, which of course comprises the Shenzhen and Shanghai exchanges. The Afia Business Morning, and indeed Opening Bell will be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. Great to have you rejoin us, and now we're moving on to our activities from other selected exchanges, and we'll be starting off at the New York Stock Exchange this morning, where it's a mixture of rises and dips in index values across board, with more rises than dips in index values. We have the likes of the NYSE Composite DJ, the NYSE US 100 Index, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, all down at 0.31%, 0.25%, and 0.11% respectively. The S&P 500 index is up at 0.44%. The NYSE Frank TM index is also up at 0.20%. Nasdaq Composite, Nasdaq 100 up at 0.55% and 0.32% respectively. And now moving on to the London Stock Exchange this morning, is all dips in index values across board. The FTSE 100 is down 0.76%, FTSE 250 down 0.95%, FTSE 350 down 0.82%, FTSE Asia Index down 0.77%. And now we'll take a trip to Asia, stopping off at the exchange in China, starting with Shenzhen. Well, it's also all dips in index values across board. Shenzhen Composite Index, SZSE Composite Index, China X Index all down at 1.33%, 1.48%, and 0.44% respectively. The same order is what applies here at the exchange at Shanghai, where everything is all dips as well. SSE Composite Index is down 1.08%, SSE 50 Index is down 0.68%, Star 50 Index is down 1.13%, The SSE 180 index is down 0.66%. The SSE 380 index, CSI 300 index, both down 1.58% and 1.00% respectively. We'll go on another break, and when we return, we'll be looking at commodity prices as well as our consumer price watch in the open market. You may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar at www.youtube.com/Afia Business. This is so that you can get notifications. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also join us on our socials on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. The Afia Business Morning and indeed Opening Bell will be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in our market speaking.
Okay, welcome back. I am Ubon Kings, and this is still the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Opening Bell on Afia TV. It's time to check in on commodity prices, and we will begin with precious metals, where incidentally is upward movement for gold today and every other precious metals on the chart this morning. Gold is up at 0.94%. Silver is up 0.50%, platinum is up 1.24%, palladium is up 1.83%. Away from that, let's take a look at energy now. Energy is, mostly dips. Coal is the only commodity which is up at 1.88%. Natural gas, ethanol both down 9.84%, 1.3%. Oil Brent is down 5.43%. Oil Bonylite is down 2.84%. Brass River Quaibo also down 2.15% respectively. Industrial metals is our next stop. Industrial metals is also mostly dips in index values across board except of course copper and zinc, which are both up at 0.19% and 0.88%. However, tin is down at 0.20%. Nickel is down 2.34%. Aluminum, lead and iron ore are all down at 1.00%, 0.86% and 0.16% respectively. You are watching the Afia Business Morning. This indeed is the Opening Bell. You may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do it to subscribe and so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the open market as well as the hikes in prices of fuel. On that note, I'll see you tomorrow on the Opening Bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. And just so you know, the Afia Business Morning will be right back with Global Business. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. See opening bell where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities, making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business, and here we'll be taking a look at business news stories around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubon Kings. Here are the headlines that are making the rounds. We're starting off from business stories from the world of aerospace, where it's reported that Boeing is to raise billions from share sale to boost its finances. And also, French lawmakers vote in favor of new tax on billionaires. Microplastics trigger concern as European Union prepares for United Nations treaty talks. We'll bring you details of the stories and more right after this time out. Stay tuned. You're still watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning, and we will begin with business stories from Africa, specifically where it's reported that Senegal's Finance Minister, Cheikh Diba, has announced during the annual International Monetary Fund IMF meetings in Washington that Senegal's program with the international institution needs to be revised following an audit that revealed a higher debt and budget deficit than previously reported. Meanwhile, the $1.8 billion IMF aid program secured in 2023 is currently frozen, where a restructuring of the agreement is now required as the government is aiming for a new agreement by the first quarter of 2025 at the least. Now, this story, to me, if you ask me, pretty much reflects the thoughts, hopes, and of much of the African country with reference to the IMF's monetary policies in sub-Saharan Africa, especially in case in point Nigeria. The story has it that the Senegalese nation is literally questioning the program with the international institution IMF and suggests that their interaction needs to be revised. This is following an audit that revealed a higher debt and another one, a higher budget deficit than previously reported. Now, the question that really comes to mind is a rhetorical question, by the way. Will other sub-Saharan countries follow suit? Are we going to also say the same things that, hey, it appears that this thing doesn't add up, let's look at it again? Or we just keep swallowing everything hook, line, and sinker just because it comes from the IMF? Well, only time will tell. Moving on to other business stories from the world of aerospace. This time around, the aeroplane manufacturer Boeing is seeking to raise some $19 billion through a share sale in the hope of boosting liquidity and avoiding a credit rating downgrade by launching a major stock offering as its workers continue strike action that has lasted for more than a month. Additionally, the company said it plans to use the net proceeds for general corporate purposes, which may include repaying debts, additions to working capital, capital expenditures, and funding and investments in its subsidiaries. Now, I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but truth is, despite this seeming interesting twist in the Boeing trajectory of pretty much wanting to seeking to raise some $19 billion through a share sale and the help of course, boosting liquidity and avoiding creating a credit rating downgrade, there's pretty much no real hope in sight. I hate to sound this way like a doomsday reporter, but if I am to go by market analysis and everything that is on ground, there's actually a fear, or rather this fear, if I may say, put it that way, that this wave of scandals, strikes and operational problems at the company could soon result in a credit rating downgrade. And that's exactly what they're trying to avoid, because truth of the matter is, these putting out the company out there, shares and all, to raise $19 billion is in the hope of avoiding a credit downgrade rating, but clearly they're not going to escape it. It's already in the works. It's going to happen, because right from the beginning of the year up to this point, it has been one issue to another, to another, to another. Hopefully this is, they'll get out of it, but then the truth of the matter is, a credit downgrade, trust me, it's bad for business. You're still watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning, Afia TV. If you want to kindly join in on the conversation, watching live right now on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel, do have to go to www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do have to subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also join us on socials. We're available on Instagram with the handle @AfiaBusiness_, just so you become part of our social media community. Up next will be more business news stories from the rest of the world. After this time out, stay tuned. Welcome back, and yes indeed, you're still watching the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV, and this is Global Business. Now to the rest of the stories. This time we're moving on to stories from France, where it's reported that French lawmakers have voted in favor of a new levy that would tax assets above the €1 billion threshold at 2%, as a majority of lawmakers supported the proposition from the far-left LFI party, despite warnings from the incumbent government. However, Laurence Saint-Martin, Minister Delegate for the Budget and Public Accounts in the incumbent government, criticized the amendment, arguing that it is the best way to scare out those who can invest in the country, as it would apply to anyone who is tax resident in France or who has assets in France. Well, from my standpoint, I wouldn't say it's too much a tax. I say so because it's targeted at billionaires in France. 2% of what they earn, maybe too much, I don't know, but good enough. Now, that shouldn't be too much like that. I mean, considering the deep well of resources that they have. My only concern is that it should stay there. Right, stay within the billionaire circle that it was said, and not push to the middle class or low class earners, because it wouldn't augur well anymore. But wait, let's look at this now. What if we had this kind of legislation in Nigeria to tax wealthy Nigerians? Oh well, I'm not sure that it will pass the first reading. I don't know, I'm just saying. Moving on, in an attempt to end this bulletin, let's bring you the report that microplastics have triggered a major concern as European Union governments prepare for United Nations talks in relation to scientists having warned of the growing threat of plastic pollution across the globe. But backroom negotiations this week on European law to tackle plastic pellet loss hint at the difficulty of forging census between governments. However, officials from nearly 200 countries convened in Colombia this week to discuss implementing a global pact to reverse diversity loss and prepare for crunch climate talks in Azerbaijan in November. Yet another environmental threat, plastic pollution, is the focus of a separate UN summit. Now, for the sake of definition, just so we know, microplastics are basically pieces of plastics that are less than 5 millimeters in size and can be harmful to environment and human health. Manchester to know also that microplastics can come from many sources, including broken down larger plastics. Microplastics can break away from, larger plastics like food wrappers, tires, and synthetic textiles. There's another category, intentionally added microplastics. It may interest you to know, sadly, that many consumer and commercial products contain microplastics. I'll give you examples: cosmetics, detergents, paints, medicines, pesticides, etc. Also, another category is the resin pellets. Resin pellets are used in plastic manufacturing. Now, meanwhile, you may not know that there are issues with this because are you aware, first of all, let's come from business angle, are you aware that the global microplastic recycling market is estimated to be valued at about $276.6 million in 2024? It is also expected to reach $439 million in 2031. Now, the question is, how does this affect us? Does it affect our health? But then, Down to Earth takes out the time to share with us the very first time microplastics were detected in human blood. Let's take a look. stories and other stories as they unfold, and keep you in the loop. I'm talking about keeping you in the loop. You may want to join in on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to hit the subscribe button so you can be part and know when we put up new videos and be part of our YouTube community. And of course, you can also join us on socials on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ just so we get interactive on social media. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV. Coming up next will be a conversation around the perennial power issue in Nigeria, the advent of the EERC main power on the Eastern Business Report. The Afia Business Morning. We'll be right back with the segment, the Eastern Business Report. My name is Ubon Kings. Stay tuned. name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market speaking.
Looking to grow your business? At Afia TV, we've got just what you need. With our various on-screen advertising options like squeeze bags, lower third, sidebars, right in front of your audience. With our lower third, your brand messages appear during the most viewed programs on TV, allowing your audience to see your message without interrupting their TV experience. Now, if you want to go big, our squeeze bag is ideal because it puts your brand messages on spotlight without interrupting viewers' experience. With our sidebars, your brand messages also takes the spotlight on our screen, ensuring brand exposure. These advertising options are affordable, effective, and designed to drive results. Get started today and watch your business shoot up. For more inquiries, call the numbers on your screen.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Ladies, join us on Gyna Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breast size. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing good.
For real.
You're not a backup singer.
I said
It's a brand new week and another opportunity for us to gist and me to tell you, bring all the spice, all the things that are hot, trending and exclusive on social media. Sometimes I know there's constructive criticism. I know that you know how to quote it. So for the people that don't understand, I want to be like, oh, why are you doing this?
Please, I'm not a cross-dresser. I'm only doing this because of the money on Facebook.
There are some people you need to just tell the truth brutally. Let it hurt them. Give it hot.
Afia TV official, exclusive every weekday on Afia TV.
Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. See Opening Bell, where we see activities from our select stock exchanges. The Global Business, where we bring you up to speed on business activities, making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports, as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
You're watching the Afia Business Morning, and this indeed is the Eastern Business Report. And well, on today's edition of the program, we are going to be looking at something very interesting. We're going to be looking at the perennial issue with power in Nigeria, and we're going to narrow it down to the southeast and Enugu state more precisely. By the way, the Eastern Business Report is designed to bring you up to speed on activities and business activities, and policies affecting businesses and the economy of the southeastern region of Nigeria. It usually comes after global business on the Afia Business Morning. My name is Ubong Kings. And really quickly, just before we do anything else, I'm reminded that Nigeria, to a large extent, is losing $26 billion annually to power outages across the country. This is according to Standard Bank. Now, it may be interesting to know that in its Africa Trade Barometer report, Standard Bank said electricity supply is a major barrier to businesses in Nigeria and across Africa, noting that firms in Nigeria spend about $22 billion yearly on off-grid fuel to offset the impact of unreliable electricity. The report said this is raising operational costs of businesses in Nigeria. The report also says power cuts reduce productivity in the nation, disrupting production, water supplies, and telecommunications infrastructure. Now, all these issues and more will form the basis of our conversation this morning. Stay tuned. And joining me on this conversation around the perennial power issue in Nigeria is none other than Emmanuel Chime, a public affairs analyst par excellence. It's good to have you join us, Emmanuel. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Kings. Good morning.
Yes, just before we get into this conversation, I'm reminded of a report we saw some time ago that Afia TV was able to put together, a report about the coming on board of the EERC. I want us to take a look at that report. When we come back, we'll have this conversation. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a listen.
The assumption of regulatory power by Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission (EERC) from the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission makes Enugu the first state to start its own electricity distribution and generation of power in Nigeria and Africa. This was made possible due to the enactment of the Enugu Electricity Act 2023, which enables the state to develop a competitive electricity market that provides an ideal legal and institutional framework to leverage on the modest gains of privatization of the power sector in Nigeria, which accelerates growth in power generation. The chairman EERC, Chijioke Okonkwo, said they are to build on the legacy of NERC, focus on the needs of local residents and promote cost effectiveness and fairness, which will foster growth and transparency in the system. He said collaboration is key and they will work with relevant stakeholders. Mr. Okonkwo, while granting licenses to Main Power Electricity Distribution Limited, a subsidiary of EEDC, and Fedico Limited, said they will be in charge of distribution and generation of power respectively.
EEDC operations will be outside of Enugu State. They will continue to operate in Abia, Ebonyi, Imo, and Anambra. But in Enugu State, their entire operations has been transferred to Main Power Electricity Distribution Company. We have opened the door for independent power producers to come in and play. So we expect that rather than people using their generators or relying on self-generation, that independent power producers can come and take that responsibility of increasing our generation capacity. That is the starting point. Number two is that with us being on ground and collaborating, working with Main Power Electricity Distribution Company, we can actually work together to improve on the level of the quality of service delivery, integrating efficiency, ensuring accountability, ensuring that the right price of energy is what the people are paying for.
Commissioner for Science and Technology, Prince Lawrence Eze, said that the state government is working toward having a meter-producing company in the state, and the market design for Enugu distribution network is to have between 20 to 50,000 megawatts at different locations in the state.
A meter-producing company will be established here in Enugu. So the issue of all this estimated billing will be goodbye.
Highlight is the presentation of the interim distribution and generation of power licenses in Enugu. Chidima Mado for Afia TV.
Thank you, Chidima, for that report. And before we get to talk about this, quite recently in the papers, I saw something recent. In fact, today, TCN said, which is a reference to power blackout in the north. TCN said it will take them 5 days to restore that power. Federal government, 2 different occasions say to take 72 hours and then to take 12 days to fix it. Different conflicting timelines. Now, are we in a crisis as far as power is concerned in Nigeria? Let's start there.
Okay, Ubon, maybe when you're talking about the conflicting reports, from both sides, that is federal government and of course CCN, then I think we'll reflect on. Remember, we had end bad governance protest last time, right? That was in August.
Yes, we did.
Then that one of August, that's the vice president rightly said, the people that are doing it, and he said that these guys are foreigners. He said that they are mercenaries, foreign mercenaries. And the DSS said that they know the people that are doing it. They said a different thing. Police said they know the people that are doing it. They said a different thing. Senate president said you know the people that are doing it. That these people are those ones who lost the elections in the last general election. So you discover that having this kind of report in Nigeria, it's been a culture with the current administration that we have. So it shouldn't be an issue here. What we should be looking at is it possible to actually restore? If restored, is it possible to sustain the restored energy? Right now, why I brought that particular question is this. There is a reason why we're on blackout currently, right? Vandalism. Then that vandals, have they fixed the situation that brought about vandals? When we're talking about security situation in Nigeria, it's not all about using kinetic measures to stem the tide. No. There are certain things that you need to. How many persons will you kill? If you keep taking people to hostage, go take them to cells, take them to dark cells, take them to prisons or thereabout, how many persons? At the time we'll begin to borrow cells from nearby nations where we'll be imprisoning our people because they have committed this or committed that. A lot of people in this country do not know where the next meal can come from. A lot of people. If I show you a video in my cell phone right now, a video of a fallen truck, that's at Kaduna State, then you will see where the residents gathered and we are packing this spaghetti and noodles that we are all broke. I mean, they scattered on the ground, just by the side of the road. And these guys were packing them with the dents. I'm talking about it's not something that is yet in the park. No, it's all just on the floor. And on the floor, it's not on the third part. You discover that they are packing everything with the dust, everything. They are packing everything. I mean, let me say, if they pack any quantity and put on a tray, then you discover by the time they will separate the dirt from the meal itself, for the food itself, maybe it will be 40, 60. So for goodness sake, and this, we are still battling with cholera. Remember that. We are battling with a whole lot of health challenges in Nigeria that we did not know when we're going to fix them. Now, when we are talking about date disparity or time disparity, then I think those ones are totally immaterial. It is just synonymous with this particular administration. Anybody can just get up at any day and begin to say anything.
Now, let's look at what is happening here in Enugu State. I mean, we've seen something similar play out in Abia State with the advent of the geometric, where it's alleged that Aba has steady power, as it were. Now we have the Enugu State Electricity Regulatory Commission, EERC, which has assumed full regulatory oversight of the Enugu State electricity market. Now the question is, what are we anticipating? Because we've seen over time previous, change of names, and maybe even portfolio, but basically the same thing happening throughout. But are we going to see something different? What are your thoughts?
Well, we're not going to see anything different. I mean, from the report right there at the background, you see that the Manpower Limited is nothing but a subsidiary of EEDC. So do you not think that their template is going to be different? I think that what Enugu Electricity Regulatory Commission ought to start doing right now is to start issuing more licenses to more interested investors in that industry, power distributors in that industry, now including generators in the industry. Because if you keep talking about one person, let us kill monopoly in the system. If that monopoly is still there, then we'll keep having the same result. It's not about changing the name. The only place where you see this guy being effective is when the tariff is being mentioned, is being stipulated to have been hiked. Then you see them implement it immediately. But what the people are complaining about, they will never look at that to fix it. It doesn't concern them. I live within Enugu here. I live within Enugu Metropolis here. And in our part, there's a new GRA. Then you discover that there was a time, for over a month, getting to 2 months, our transformer were being vandalized. The major cable, underground cable, were being, dug off by hoodlums. They took that away. Then we complained, we reported to EEDC, and they said that they didn't have anything to do about that they can't restore the light, and they don't have those parts that were being vandalized. So we are left with no option. They told us we should go and make money available for them to be able to help us buy and reinstall. Oh my God, we tax ourselves to provide what the company are meant to use to make money, to make their money. When we tax ourselves, we make money available for them to even come for installation. We have to pay them. Then remember, when you give them the money, they will go to where these particular parts are being stocked and pick the one you paid for and install for you, but you will pay for it. We paid, and we have to pay their staff that came to do installation. We also have to use burglary, to secure the transformer on our own, at our own cost. We also have to install solar power there for lighting at night, at our own cost. We have to lock the particular environment, keep it under lock and key at our own cost, protecting another person's business. And the person, any day that the person wishes to increase the tariff, did not even involve you. The person will just increase the tariff and come to your doorstep and demand that you should do fast to come and pay. So for goodness sake, the problem we're having here is monopoly. All right, it's not about issuing license of operation to another name, to another company altogether. It's not about that. Can we take a look at what happened in telecommunication industry? Then you discover that today nobody will tell you that we have a very healthy competition in that particular sector. MTN cannot misbehave before because they know that the Glow is by the side steaming and dragging the same customer that they have with them. Airtel cannot misbehave because they know that MTN is there waiting for them to miss their track just for a minute, and all the customers that they have, they will swap over. And you see them, doing promo after promo, doing promo after promo. All those promos is just to woo more customers from the other part to their own part. But you will never see this in other industries. But these guys are making their money. They are making a hell of money. They are not losing. I'm talking of those in telecommunication industry. They are not losing anything. They are making a hell of money. And the people are yet happy, making use of their services. But you never see it in our power sector, because in our power sector it is not so. It is monopoly. If you cannot go with this person, you forget about it. Then you go and buy fuel. Now you can look at what is happening in our petroleum industry. Yeah. On daily basis, federal government keeps increasing the pump price on daily basis. Then as at yesterday, it will have been increased again. Yeah. Even why people are complaining, why people are dying of hunger. And why people are dying of hunger, that's the very best time that the Minister of FCT discovered that you will go and begin to arrest beggars on the street. Those whom hunger have chased out of their homes. So just to tell you the kind of government that we have in place. So it's not about changing the name. or giving license to SYZ company. It's about, can we kill monopoly in that sector? If we can kill monopoly, we'll get a different result. But if not so, we'll not get a different result.
Okay, now you just said something about monopoly, which I'm going to come back to in a bit. But let's look at this. We are now majorly, we have capacity. I mean, licenses have been given. Story has it that EERC issued licenses to Main Power Electricity Distribution Company, which, like you pointed out, we know is an EEDC subsidiary set up to take over electricity operations of EEDC in Enugu State, and the first independent power project, IPP in Enugu State, to Fedicore Limited, to build a power plant with a nameplate capacity of 10 megawatts. Now, the question is, judging from all of these things, do you see a possibility that, especially in Enugu State, the tariff for electricity will come down? Is there a possibility?
Ubong, if we build our own generation company here, right, have our generation capacity here, then it's not about having one. I'm talking about killing monopoly. If the only channel or only source where we are getting our power is just from one source, then we'll be at the mercies of that particular source. Whatever the source so wish to tell you, he will tell you. Whatever the source so wish to say, you will say. Whatever the source so wish to do, you will do, and you can't do anything. If you don't, go to filling station to go and buy fuel. Then by the time you buy the fuel and you look at your pocket and you understand what it means, and the person can always just do whatsoever. But if you want to get a balanced market indices, let us have monopoly killed. If we can issue licenses to, let's say, 3 or 4 power generation companies in Enugu State or in Southeast, for goodness sake, we're going to get it a bit better. But we have coal here. Our coal mine here, if we can revive it, I hope you're aware that coal is being mined currently, even as we are seated here. But I hope that you know that the mining is not being accounted for. Are you aware of that, Obon? Oh my God. So, for goodness sake, if we will tell ourselves the truth and we'll begin to use our coal, use it to generate power, for goodness sake, it will serve Enugu, serve the whole of Southeast. We'll have excess power to make use of in Southeast. Geometric, what are they using to generate their own power? For goodness sake, how we're going to generate our own power here is not an issue. Can we have geometric like about 5 of them in Southeast? That'll be serving Southeast, together. You discover that this source is here, this source is here, this source is here, this source is here. You have alternatives. There is no one that will do guy for you. No one will want to just, mismanage you in any way that one so wish to do. No one will do that. But if we're talking about one company to be generating and one company to be transmitting, one company to be distributing, then we are still in trouble. We have not made any headway. We're not going to get it right. Let's talk about kill monopoly in the system.
Do you see the possibility of Enugu or Southeast-based businessmen want to delve into this industry, especially given the present economic situation?
Yeah, we have a lot of guys who are interested in investing in several areas. These are areas of lucrative business. For goodness sake, you know Davido's father, right? And you know that the man is generating electricity too, right?
Yep.
Thank you. And that was the other day, he rightly said, addressing the public, he rightly said that he's generating about 15% of the entire power being used in Nigeria. 15%. Then you know exactly what that means. And he talked about another plant that he's building. He said by 2025 it's going to be coming to life. For goodness sake, Obong, we have a lot of guys who want to invest in that area. The only thing we are looking for is government policies that are business oriented and government policies that are not irregular. Because where we are having issues in businesses is where our government policies are so irregular. You discover that this policy is just politically driven. The person will just do whatsoever, and the next day another person will come and see lacunas and and kill that particular policy, and the policy being killed will just chase you out of business. Or you see lots of taxes, unreasonable taxes, being imposed on businesses, just like we're talking about electricity, power availability and affordability as well. Then you discover that the tariff hike on electricity have managed to chase away a lot of businesses from Nigeria. The ones you still see that are yet in operation in Nigeria majorly are locally owned, and this locally owned, somehow they didn't know where to run to again. But the ones that are foreign, they have to just simply exit and go either to their country or look for another country to go and establish their businesses. So we have all manner of taxes being imposed on businesses. These are okay. For instance, you join one of the businesses today. Maybe we're talking about power generating companies today. Then you discover that a lot of taxes that will be coming from villages, coming from kindreds, coming from all manner of circle, from youths, from the governor, from the local government chairman, from the permanent secretary, from whomsoever, from every angle. Then they will impose all those levies on you. Then the next kidnapping is yet a thriving business in Enugu State. Then you discover that some kind of person wouldn't want to come in there to come and establish, because their own safety is not guaranteed. Safety first, because there are many who have been kidnapped and were unable to come out alive. So when you are thinking about where to go and invest, you think about your life as well. So these are factors that if you begin to elaborate them, you see it is too much.
All right, thank you so much. I think that's a good place to leave it. Thank you. One thing key take away from this conversation will be the fact that there is a need to kill monopoly, open up the playing ground, put things in place, especially in reference to security and other infrastructure, and of course the policies of government that would favor people to invest in this and then crash the prices. I guess that summarizes our conversation this morning. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you for your time. In case you're just joining in, you may want to share your thoughts or be part of the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly go to www.youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, remember you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. By the way, you could join us on Instagram with the handle @AfiaBusiness_ to be part of our social media community. And that will start the package today on the Eastern Business Report. Coming up next is Afia. My name is Ubong Kings. Good morning.
Time check is 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next girl store owner, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?